Let's make some butter chicken with some naan bread. Yum! Since it's only my hubby and I'm only going to be cutting up 3 chicken breasts, and this one's a little frozen still, but you basically want it into, I don't know, like bite-sized pieces. You can make them however big you want, and then I've just got like a large bowl that I'm going to throw them in, and just keep doing that. I've got, I think, 1.5 chicken breasts. Okay, for the ingredients, I used a teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of fly-by-gene because it's just really good stuff, a teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of ginger, full teaspoon of dried cilantro, full teaspoon of chili powder, full teaspoon of curry powder, a full teaspoon of garam masala, and a full teaspoon of paprika in there. And then I added a little bit of salt, like maybe half a teaspoon, and that's probably 1/4 of a cup of just yogurt that I had in the fridge. And I'm gonna mix that all together and let it sit to the side for a little bit. I also took about 3/4 of a lime and juiced that, and I'm putting it in there to mix it all together as well. For the naan bread, you are going to add in 1 cup of warm water, 1 teaspoon of sugar, and 1 teaspoon of yeast, and mix that together and let it sit for about 5 minutes. I am using Quick Rise instant yeast from Red Star because it's really good. I don't know if you can see it, but it is definitely blooming, and that is a good sign. I'm so excited. Look at it go! Now that the yeast has all bloomed, we're going to add in 2 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of salt, and a tablespoon of olive oil, and mix that all together. Okay, dough is a little smooth, a little sticky. I added probably another cup of flour though, because it was way too wet. Now I'm going to cover it in some oil and cover it up for like half an hour or so. The naan dough is done, so I'm going to cut this up into, I don't know, like 10 pieces or so. Okay, I'm taking my little bowl. I'm not even using like flour or anything. It's got enough stuff in it that it doesn't need it, and I'm just going to roll it out. After you've rolled them out like this, you're going to put them in the pan that's a little hot, and you're going to flip them once they get a little bubble on them like these ones have. Just keep going until they're done. I made some tiny naan bread too, and I think I kind of like it better than this big stuff. So you do, boo. You do you, boo. Another great thing to do also is kind of hold it up and stretch it out a little bit before you put it on the pan. Your same pan that you cooked your naan in, you are going to take the chicken and just cook it in there. Save your bowl though, because you're only going to cook it a little bit. I'll show ya. This has got a little more color on it, so I'm going to take it out, put it back into the bowl. I know this was the raw stuff. We're still going to cook this chicken a little bit later on. Keep all that in there and add that onion that you cut up. I just cut up 1 yellow onion. See all these brown bits? That is flavor. Either add some water, chicken broth, wine, whiskey, whatever you have, and get those brown bits up off of there. If you want to and you have it, take some tomato paste and cook that down until it's a nice dark brown before you add anything else. Add maybe 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon if you want to, little bit of garlic if you want to as well, and then 1 can of petite diced tomatoes, and start that mixing around, baby. Get all those brown bits. It ain't burnt, baby, it's just brown. Add all your chicken and its juices back in there. Add about 2 tablespoons of butter and let that start melting down, baby. And then you're going to get real fancy and go to Dollar Tree and buy this coconut milk because it's delicious, and just pour the whole can in. Or you could do heavy cream or half and half, but this is a little cheaper. Cook this for about 10 minutes covered, and then it should be done. Alright, this is what it looks like after it's been cooking for 10 to 15 minutes. I'm going to serve it up now. Okay, and that's it with the naan. I sprinkled some dried cilantro on there. So let's go see how the hubby likes it. I think he's gonna love it. My husband and I loved the butter chicken with the naan bread. It was a very simple recipe. I found it here on TikTok. And the butter chicken was so good. we pretty much ate it that night and the next morning kind of, or afternoon, whatever, for lunch. So very happy with how that turned out. Very happy with the flavors. I think next time I'll add some like fresh ginger and a little bit more cinnamon to it. But otherwise, it's pretty good. So very happy with it, and I hope you guys enjoy. Have a good night.